What's up, y'all? It's your boy Roy back here with another video. Hopefully, it's not too. Hopefully, you don't hear the wind too much. I got the dead cat on, but it is pretty windy out here today. But welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I'm gonna be honest. I have recorded this video a couple of times, and I redid it multiple times. Pretty much, I couldn't figure out how I wanted to frame it. I didn't want it to be too much information. The video ended up being what I did not like it to be. So what this video is going to be is like, I'm learning stuff, you're learning stuff. If you're new to motorcycling and stuff, or just wanting to get into it, or even just looking into it and stuff, you're new, I'm new. Let's learn together, okay? So, what I want to go over is one of the options of what I would consider to be a good starter bike that I'm looking at, and I might get. I want this to be like a daily commuter for me, and maybe longer road trips at some point for me and my wife. So I also have to be able to carry my wife on the back of the bike for a long time, and for her to be comfortable while also being able to carry stuff with me. So like, for instance, I was looking at the Honda SCL 500. Awesome bike. Nice beginner type of motorcycle. However though, I can't carry bags around the whole bike. Maybe on the left and the back, but not the right, because of the massive pipe that's coming off from the exhaust. Well, the massive exhaust pipe. So yeah, got to be mindful of that. And obviously beginner friendly. I'm not getting no super powered motorcycle for instance, like the higher end Indian models and stuff, or none of the Harley Davidson models at the moment. Because honestly, I can't afford those. But then also, even if I could, a lot of those have a lot more power. You know, if they have like rider modes, fine. I probably put into rain mode and get to slowly changing the modes as I get better. But for the most part, though, I'm sticking to like under 1,000 cc's, or maybe even at 1,000. And depending on specs of the bike, I might end up getting a higher cc bike. Also, can't get too low of a cc. If I get too low of a cc, I won't be able to keep up on these Texas roads. For those who don't know, I do live in Texas. You gotta be quick, okay? These streets are not slow. Like literally, where I live at, I live in the suburbs of around Austin. It's like the speed limit, like just leaving my apartment complex, is literally 45 miles an hour, and literally skyrockets from there. And for me going from here to work, at some point I would hit 50 miles. And mind you, everyone is always driving above that. So I have to be able to comfortably hit good highway speeds, or even just side street speeds. Mainly highway though too, because there's a lot of highway out here where I'm at. There's that. So those are like the main things that I'm focusing on when it comes to choosing out what bikes that I'm looking for. Now, let's talk about the first bike that I am really recommending, and I'm seeing a lot of that I most likely will end up getting. That would be the Rebel. That would be the Rebel 500, a Honda Rebel 500. Why is that one? It's a good sweet spot. It's not too slow for driving on the streets that we're at, or even on the highway. It can do highway speeds like lovingly. I can even tour around the country if I want to on it. Not the most comfortable bike. If I really wanted to do some touring and stuff, I'll get the Honda Rebel 1100. However though, I don't have that kind of money, nor the skill to really handle that high of a CC bike. Then also, with the Honda Rebel series, they do have a lot of aftermarket parts. That's another thing too that I do keep an eye on, if I can get parts for it, whether it be affordable parts or just parts that I need to make my travel, possible. Like if I can find proper saddlebags, if I can get a sissy bar and so I can put my 60 bar bag on it. I don't have one yet. When I get one, or if I want to put a good fairing to protect myself, or a fairing that I like. There are some fairings that works well for the bikes, but it might not look good on the bike. So that's stuff that I am keeping an eye out for. But the Honda Rebel 500 does that, and lots of other stuff. So another good thing about the Honda Rebel 500, the looks. I like the looks of it. It looks nice. I want to make sure like I have a bike that I like looking at. My wife like looking at. Wife definitely gotta like looking at it. If she doesn't like it, then I better have other bikes that looks better. Also, speaking of wife, also Abby, my wife, she wants to eventually get her motorcycle license also. So I need to, my first bike, I do want to make sure that she can flat foot it, alright? She is about 5'1.5". I'm 5'8.5". So I can fit on a lot more bikes than she could. Like the Honda SCL 500, I can fit on that. But she most likely can't fit on the SCL 500 because her legs is not going to make it down to the ground. Vertically challenged. So, Honda Rebel 500. I've seen videos of other people around her height actually being able to flat foot it and stuff comfortably, and feel a lot more comfortable riding the bike and stuff. So that's why I'm also choosing that too. And I'm also going to stick mainly in the cruiser categories, because those are the bikes that tend to have the lowest seat heights. Then why I also picking the Honda Rebel 500, reliability. Yes, y'all see me. I don't mind learning new things. I don't mind like researching and trying out stuff. Right. I even like one point my car window, the window motor had like broke, and I first tried to fix it myself. I was able to get the door off and stuff, and look to see where I would need to get to the panel. However, though, I didn't have the right tools to take that little panel and stuff off so I can switch out the motor and stuff like that. So obviously I couldn't do that because I didn't have the tools. That's going to be the same case with when I get the motorcycle. There's certain stuff that I won't be able to do because I just don't have the funds to get all the tools that I would need initially. Now, granted, I will make sure I have tools and stuff so I can do like the oil change and like the basic maintenance and stuff. But like, if I need to like take out the take off the whole engine or whatnot to fix like the clutch or something like that, or like the transmission or something like that, I don't have the skill nor time at the moment to do that. So it has to be a reliable bike, easy to work on, reliable, and it also means that I won't be getting those super old bike. I don't mind getting an older used bike, but I can't go too far back to where I know it's going to need some maintenance on it. Another thing too, this won't be just, how to put it, it's mainly my scenario for this, or situation for this factor, is where I can get it from. Yes, I can drive over to go look at the bike and stuff. However though, unless I get some riding time before getting my first bike, I'm not going to ride the bike home for the first time. I'm assuming a lot of you all won't do that. You'll probably get it delivered. So in order to do that, you got to make sure your dealership delivers. If it does not, or if you like getting it from someone who's selling off the Facebook Marketplace, you got to make sure you be able to actually bring the bike to where you're at. So that's another thing. I won't be working with any people from Facebook Marketplace or in persons unless I find someone I really trust to go through the process with buying a used bike rather than going through a dealer. For convenient purposes, I will mainly be looking through dealers for my bike. Now, with that in mind, it also means like I have to be more picky about where I get the bike from, because obviously if I can only get it from dealers, I gotta make sure it's a dealer I can get to and they'll be able to ship it to me. I said that earlier, but yeah. But some specs that I do know of the bike. We're gonna look from the actual. I looked this up on the Honda website and stuff, and I had also the Google AI stuff to help gather everything in one spot. I had looked at it individually on each of these pages. However, though, Google had ended up laying it out pretty much exactly to what I need. So, okay, first, so for you all want to know how much it costs, right? The Honda Rebel 500, it costs around $6,000 to about $6,500 $6,500, right? That's without tax. But then also that's without the destination charge. Destination charge would be $600. That's if you bought it brand new. If it's used, you don't have to worry about that destination charge. Someone already paid that for you. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about if you can get it new or used. That's the base model. There are 3 models if you wanted to look into the Rebel 500. The other model is the ABS version. The first one I've talked about is non-ABS. This one is ABS, which is anti-locking brake system. It is very handy for people who might be very quick to instinctively grab a lot of the brake, or their back wheel starts to slip. Basically, that back wheel will start to like brake roll to keep traction onto the pavement, so that you don't like low side anything like that or slip, and then you sliding to oblivion, to infinity and beyond. Now, some of y'all might have experienced this when you're driving your cars. I experienced it when I had really bad tires on my Hyundai Santa Fe. I pushed the brakes too fast when it was wet outside, and instead of my tires spinning out and I started sliding just randomly, my brakes, my ABS kicked in, and it made my brakes stop go to keep traction. So think about that if you're wanting to worry about your safety and stuff. If you're worried about maybe having that back tire ride start rolling too fast. Then they have the SE version, which is a special edition version. The color that I'm looking at now is like it's blue, it looks really nice. It comes with the cowling for like the front of the motorcycle. I'll show you photos of it so you all can see what I'm talking about. Let's see. This one comes with its ABS already installed onto it. And just so you know, all these bikes are fuel injected, low seat height, all that other stuff, right? I forgot to mention the price for the ABS version. ABS version is a few $100 more. It's $6,800, and the destination charge is still $600. The destination charge is gonna still stay the same because it's the same bike, pretty much. Ooh, that might have maybe, you know what? Cloud kicked in. It might have helped out a lot. Yeah, the sun is pretty strong today out here in Texas. It's partly cloudy, but the sun is bright. So yeah, those are like mainly the unique color if you're going for the newer model for this year. For the SE model, it's the blue. I don't know if it comes in any other colors. I have to look. I've seen older ones come in white. Oh, they do have white on here. I think it's called like pearl white. And this one is metallic. Oh no, this is matte black metallic for the black one. So there are older models too that came like orange and stuff like that. I think that's like the other special editions. I'm not entirely sure. I have to look it up. So some information that you all probably want to know. Like what's the horsepower, torque, and all that other good stuff, right? So it has 46 horsepower and about 31 to 32 foot-pounds of torque. For those who don't know, right, torque and horsepower are terms that describe like how powerful the engine is and stuff, right? So, good example, torque is pretty much like how fast how much power can your engine put out. So if you got a higher torque, you can put out a lot of power, you can gain a lot of speed. Now horsepower is how quickly and how long you can, how quickly you can get that speed, get that power, and how long it will last. So, like, good example, if you have a lower torque, lower horsepower, obviously you'd be going a lot slower. The Honda Rebel 300 is going to be a lot slower. It has smaller engine size. It's like 280 something or 290 something cubic centimeters. I can't. I think yeah, cc's is cubic centimeters. And but the Rebel 500 is 471 cubic centimeters. So bigger, but it has higher torque than that. See if I'll put the Rebel 300 torque compared to Rebel 500 torque and horsepower. But that means I have a lot more horsepower to play around with. So like if I need to pick up and go around traffic and stuff, like if I'm on the expressway and I need to get around people, I'll have enough power. First, I have enough torque to go, and enough horsepower to keep that power continue to go up and forward, or even just like hold on to it. Because if you got like low horsepower and stuff, you might lose your that power once like you go to a certain RPM and stuff. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of videos I was looking at when it comes to that. Cars have horsepower and torque too. Like a normal car has a lot more than a motorcycle for obvious reasons. Bigger engines, a lot more stuff it can do. But yeah, for the nerds who want to know a little bit like some other stuff about this bike, if you want to know what the seat height is, seat height says that is 27.2 inches, wheelbase 58.7 inches, fuel capacity is 3 gallons. Now I don't know I don't know like what that translates to, how many miles you have until like you become like, you know, you need to fuel up. Curb weight is approximately 414 pounds or 419 pounds, is around that. It does have a, if I'm not mistaken, I have to look and see if I have the digital dash or whatnot. It doesn't have any like no ride modes. It doesn't even, for a Honda Rebel, it doesn't even tell you the RPMs that you're in. I'm not entirely sure if it flashes if you need to switch gears, but yeah, it's very minimalistic when it comes to the stuff that you get on a Honda. Like for instance, for the for the Kawasaki Eliminator, that is the bike around this price range that is literally like the direct competitor of the Honda Rebel 500. That comes, that you can connect that to your phone and stuff. You won't be able to like do like GPS and stuff, but you can like, I think you can like switch music and stuff like that, skip, and like other stuff. But I think also it shows you your RPM range and stuff, which for a lot of people it can help, because when you're shifting gears, if you know that you need to switch because you're hitting close to RPM, it'd be easy for you to tell rather than you filling in. But I haven't rode yet, so I don't know how hard or how easy it's going to be once I also try that. Also, for those who wants to know the type of system that is making that tire spin and stuff, would be a chain, sprockets, chain and sprocket system. For those who don't know, there are 3 types of ways that the bikes go, pretty much. It can be either be chain and sprocket, which basically like a bike chain, pretty much. That's what that will look like. Like when you think of a motorcycle, you think of like the chain and stuff like that, and the sprocket. Then there is belt drive. Belt drive is, you'll see like it's like a very, very durable plastic that it takes place of a chain rather than having like the metal chain, because you do have to do a lot of maintenance when it comes to chain maintenance and stuff, rather than belt maintenance, because obviously chain metal, you have to clean it all, oil it back up and stuff like that, even like when you're washing it and stuff. So when you're worried about belt drive, it's a lot less maintenance. A lot of cruisers that tour and stuff normally has that. Fun fact: the what it is, the CF Moto SC, I think SCL or CL 500. I think it's CL 500. That is like their CL 450. That is their cruiser. It's like the cruiser for CF Moto. That comes with a belt drive. Not normally, that's not seen in lower CC bikes. And normally like the higher CCs, like 1,000 up and stuff like that, or maybe even like 750s or 800s. So interesting to know. Then there's shaft drive, which is pretty much, I haven't like opened up the back of a bike that has that before, so I can't even like completely explain what it is. But what I do know is like I think this, I probably just show the image of what a shaft drive looks like. But pretty much there's like main like metal pieces. So another thing that you all probably want to know, if it's 5-speed or 6-speed, there's a 6-speed automatic transmission. Not automatic, sorry. Manual, 6-speed manual transmission. A Rebel 1100 does have the option for the DCT, which is basically an automatic for motorcycles. That's the Honda's automatic. But I won't be getting that. Obviously, I'm here for the full experience of the manual motorcycle, so I'm not touching that at the moment. I'll try it out visually later on, but not now. And it's also pretty expensive. But for those who actually can't, I'm thinking of scenarios where people probably can't really shift and stuff properly. Maybe that's something that you want to think of, because if you're used to scooters and stuff and you didn't want to worry about shifting and stuff, DCT, they have it, automatic. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the first bike that I'm thinking of. This is most likely going to be the bike that I would get, and it's mainly because it's affordable. I can find a lot of them throughout the dealership, especially throughout Texas, out here. A lot of them do deliver. I see that a lot of them do deliver. What else? Low seat height. I know my wife should be able to fit on it. They have aftermarket parts for days for Honda Rebels. I've seen people turn these things into freaking boppers. Like it's amazing what you can do with a Honda Rebel now. And yeah, and I like how it looks. I really do. When I first started looking at motorcycles, this is one of the first bikes that I've seen. But next time though, I will talk about the other bike that I'm looking side by side, and it's pretty much like even to the Honda Rebel 500 in my opinion, and that would be the Kawasaki Eliminator. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy. Thank you for just joining just to talk with me. Hopefully I don't get upset with this video and decide to not make this one. But hope you all enjoy. Have fun. Good luck trying to get your 2 wheels if you're planning on doing that journey too with me. And yeah, y'all enjoy yourselves. Have a splendid weekend. It's your boy Roy. Peace. See y'all on the next one.